This is you. You've just been born, somewhere around here, and it does not look as flashy as you imagined it for the past 9 months. You kind of wish you could go back there. But no, you are stuck here in the real world. And right away, you know it's going to be tough. It's the year 1524, fall to be more specific. And there's this one thing going on in the world around you. It's your position in society. It determines your entire future, opportunities, and lifestyle. At the top of the hierarchy triangle are the royals and nobility. Then there are the merchants, artisans, and knights. And, well, then there's you, a peasant. You are in your house, in the hands of a midwife with little medical knowledge. Luckily, you are born safely without any complications, which makes you one of the lucky ones. Only about 1 in 4 babies survive in this age. Just a few days after your birth, strange people take you from your small wooden bed, which sheets are filled with duck feathers. They are wearing robes, and since you can barely see, you just scream. After all, you're a baby. You can't do anything else. Hope is your only option. They bring you to a nearby creek. You don't know what's going on. They start bathing you in the cold water, which feels horrible. So you cry and cry. After a few minutes, the ritual ends. Later, you learn this ritual was your baptism. Apparently, unbaptized babies were believed to face spiritual problems. Congratulations, you made it through your first year. Though you don't realize how lucky you are, it's time to start living. You're learning how to walk and talk. Your toys aren't great. Most of the time, they're handmade by your parents or relatives. As for your parents, you don't see them much. They work all day. In your first few years, you mostly see just your mother, as your father works long days on the farm. As you grow, your responsibilities start early. By the time you're 5, your mother hands you a stick and points you toward the family's 2 scrawny sheep. Congratulations, you're a shepherd now. If one of those woolly little devils wanders off, it's on you. No pressure, though. The wolves might just get to them first. You quickly learn the art of patience, because what else can you do when your entertainment is a stick and a sheep that keeps trying to headbutt you? Occasionally, other kids your age come by, and you all compare sticks like they're the latest fashion accessory. Oh, yours has a knot? Fancy. By 7, you're strong enough to carry buckets of water from the village well. This is your introduction to manual labor. You spill half of it on the way home, of course. Your mother sighs, but hands you the next bucket anyway. After all, practice makes perfect. You're also starting to help out in the fields. Your job? Scare away birds. Yes, you're basically a living scarecrow. If you think this sounds boring, it is. But don't worry, because one of the older boys is going to dare you to eat a worm soon. It's a rite of passage. By your teenage years, you've graduated to real farm work. Plowing, sowing, harvesting, the trifecta of peasant existence. Your muscles ache, your hands are calloused, and you've developed an intimate relationship with dirt. It's in your hair, your nails, and probably your soul at this point. Your diet is a steady stream of bread, porridge, and the occasional vegetable. Meat is for special occasions or when the pig finally kicks it. Speaking of which, slaughter day is coming up. Hope you're not too attached to Wilbur. If you're lucky, you've learned a skill like weaving or blacksmithing from a neighbor. This could elevate your status slightly. But don't get any ideas. You're still a peasant. Just a slightly more skilled one. Marriage sneaks up on you in your late teens. Your parents arrange it, of course. Love? That's a luxury for nobles. You meet your future spouse a week before the wedding. She looks about as thrilled as you do. But hey, at least you're both in this together. The wedding feast is a rare day of celebration. There's dancing, drinking, and enough food to make you forget your usual diet of turnips. For one glorious evening, you're not just a peasant, you're a well-fed peasant. After the wedding, it's back to reality. You've got a patch of land to farm and a house to maintain. Children come quickly because, well, that's just how it goes. You're responsible for feeding more mouths now, which means even longer days in the fields. By your 30s, you're officially old by peasant standards. Your back aches constantly and your teeth are a distant memory. Life is hard, but you take pride in what you've built: a family, a home, and maybe even a slightly bigger patch of land than you started with. The seasons pass, and eventually, you're too old to work. Your children take over the farm, and you're left to sit by the hearth, telling exaggerated stories of your youth. Did I ever tell you about the time I fought off a wolf with just a stick? When your time finally comes, the village gathers to pay their respects. Your body is laid to rest in the churchyard, and life goes on. You've lived, loved, and worked your way through the 1500s, just like countless peasants before you. It wasn't glamorous, but it was yours.